This is Platform Value Now, and we're going to talk about building a platform today. I'm Victor Verpele, and I'm located in Silicon Valley, and we're going to give you the perspective from this position. Let's start by talking about history and give you a couple examples of the emergence of platforms. The examples I've chosen are Apple versus Google. Both Apple and Google come from a historical perspective of a closed platform. Apple, of course, beginning in the microcomputer market, advancing to music sales through its iPod, and finally on to the Apple iPhone. Along that path, they had many disruptions, including one where Microsoft actually had to invest money in Apple to keep it afloat. But Apple learned a lot from how Microsoft grew faster than they did by allowing other people to use their software and create new things. Google, on the other hand, started out as a search engine and decided Apple was the threat and came up with the Android platform, which it licensed to anybody freely that was willing to take it so they could keep on to their base. So Apple and Google are different. Apple is more restricted, but its store does have developers who are developing software for the Apple platform. And of course, Google has the Android. Nike, on the other hand, was a product company that decided it was really important that they entered the digital age and create a digital platform. So their entry, because they had a large customer base, was to insert a sensor in some of their shoes, and that information from an accelerometer could lead to a collection in a database that would be valuable for future relations with their customer base and for their customer base to relate to each other. Well, what can we learn from these? Four basic things. Platforms connect people through technology to an interactive ecosystem. And this is exemplified by what has happened with the growth of things like Airbnb, Uber, and even Nike now is connecting their ecosystems using data. But the case is this is a new economic and social arena, and it's beginning to get transformation even in things like healthcare and education, energy, and government. Healthcare in particular is receiving a lot of attention today as systems are developed with using artificial intelligence platforms like the new IBM Watson. Education, on the other hand, is going to undergo a major revolution because the cost for delivery is so high and the expertise of individual professors is so low, except in places like Finland. But Khan Academy, for example, has 15 million current users of education, and it's entirely free. So the platform model is successful in Google, Amazon, Airbnb, Uber, and Alibaba, Tencent, and there are more platforms coming on every day. And what usually happens in these things, the winner takes all. Amazon is now dominating its market. So you should be worried if you're a single product leader, because power is shifting away from the single product leaders to the even Amazon, through its evolution, while it sold books in the beginning, is now everything to everyone. They make it so easy to buy products and get them delivered to your door. So it's point to point, on demand, and that wins every single time. The question for you is it time to build your own platform? Does your business model use technology to connect people, organizations, and resources in an interactive ecosystem? If it doesn't, you may be going the way of Eastman Kodak, which dominated the film business for about 100 years, but today is bankrupt because they didn't see the digital revolution coming, even though they were the inventors of the digital camera. Well, here's a checklist that you might want to use in your next strategic planning. How can I amass a large user base? Can I borrow somebody else's and not build it one by one? Airbnb, for example, piggybacked on the hugely popular Craigslist. Of course, they're not allowed to go there anymore. Or you could offer some standalone value, such as Snapchat did for improvement of your picture taking. And what happened was it built a large user base who were interested in that tool, and suddenly Snapchat became a platform. You can recruit marquee users. In the case of Uber, when they moved into Seattle, they were unknown, but they essentially bought their way into the top limousine company in Seattle. And by virtue of incorporating that limousine company into the Uber driver list, they were able to get not only immediate customers, providers, but also customers and credibility. You can also reduce the user's risk that are coming to your platform. Airbnb reduces the risk of people trashing an Airbnb provider's dwelling with insurance policies. You have to ensure compatibility with legacy systems. One of the big things at Amazon is that every technical person writing software in that company was required to make sure that their software would be compatible with the outside API users. It's both an exciting time and an interesting time that is dangerous for all companies. The old pipeline companies that created value by pushing it down a pipe and to the end user are probably numbered. So I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Victor Verplay signing off.